All right. So this is Vanna, my daughter's horse. She does have some handful of rides on her, but just all mountain rides. We'll go over a few things that I do. First of all, when I'm doing this work with colts, I like to make sure I've got a training halter on, a little wiry halter, so I can get their attention. And I ride a saddle with a, pretty, she's gonna slid back on me, a pretty close contact. And I like a little horn so I can grab a hold of that songbug if things get a little south, Hard to grab a hold of a 2-inch or 3-inch horn. And I don't like starting colts and wades. This is my personal preference because they're so thick right here. You got a question?
What was the wade was, I think.
Yeah, so this is a D-ring saddle. So you see that there's nothing here between me and the horse hardly. Just the rigging goes up, it's real thin, everything's thin. My fenders are thin. I can get to the horse real easy so the horse can feel my body movements. You'll see that I you heard me say I train using psychology. And then and I'll say something that's kind of controversial that a lot of people won't speak, but they use it. You cannot train a horse without fear. If you remove all the human fear from a horse, if you get in there with the day it's born, we were talking about this earlier, and you hover around it, stick your fingers in his nose and ear and all that stuff, it's called imprinting. It was a big thing for many years. I don't know if they do it as much now. I think they realize the damage they may be causing. It is something we want to do. We want to get in there with that baby and he's born. It's probably the worst thing you can do to a horse. The reason being is that the horses become desensitized to human right from the get-go. So you just become another pack animal to them. And then they have no, we like to use the word respect, but the emotion they do have is fear. Horses run away from things. They're terrified of things. You training horses and they bolt into fear and they run. You can't turn them, you can't do nothing with it. You're just along for the ride until their blood pressure comes down. I'm sure many of y'all been there. So we use psychology, we use fear. When you're raising your kids, what do you think a kid thinks when he won't go to bed or whatever, or they've done something wrong, and then they're in fear of being punished? Fear of getting a whooping, fear of getting time out, fear of getting something taken away from them. They're in fear of those things. Hopefully one day the child grows up, instead of fear of getting whoopings or taking things away from them, they grow up in fear of disappointing you. Hopefully but it's still fear. It's still fear. And we use fear in these horses. We create a monster with a flag or with that. That flag you use is promoting fear when y'all use a flag to get them to move. All right. If you get them so desensitized to that flag, then they just lean into it and you can shake it, you can do whatever, and then it has no purpose anymore because the horse is too dull. You got any horses like that you've worked? Yep. You can shake the flag, you can shake a rope, you can jump at them, you can and they just, you get nothing out of them.
Bear.
Yeah. We have Mustangs like that now.
Nothing. And a Mustang should be the last horse that should be like that.
Exactly.
Because you just took their nervous system to be run from everything. I run from nothing now. There's a semi coming. Okay, you need. I don't do any desensitizing to my cow horses because I want them a little fractious, a little harder to ride, but I want all of that. I want them to be a little scared of that cow. When that cow turns, I want them to think that cow just poked them in the side. So we'll work this horse around a little bit, and you'll see the fear. She won't be as bad as she was. We did it one time last week. So I do the same exact drill that I taught y'all the first day. Make her go around me. So we start it. We just give her a way out. And see, last time she was doing all kinds of stuff, rare. And I'm happy with the walk. She didn't walk at all last time. So if we can control her to walk, I am no longer guiding her. Aaron, remember I told you you're aggravating your horse by just sitting there playing with those reins?
Yep.
This is playing with the reins. This is only the inside rein. I am just holding her. I want this leader up a little loose. I am pushing to this rib cage. I can step in a little bit, create a little more energy. You see that? So, we don't. I'm very direct. I'm fine with the walk. I'm not fine with the stop because I didn't ask her to whoa. I didn't ask her to do that. And then if I want to stop, I just stop riding. Right? You see, she's just comfortable. She wants to throw that hip out a little bit. we can't do nothing about it. At home, if you don't want the hip out, you can step back into this front end, get off of it, like that. Then you got her line back out. Then you can redirect her, make her come over with that front end. And we go back to the same thing. She's a lot better than she was last week, isn't she, sir? I figured she'd be. Yeah, big difference. Just one time working her. We were rare, and we were doing all kinds of stuff. See how supple she is around me? She's just supple. Stop riding, release my legs. She wants to face up, which I don't like, but that's okay. I'd rather her stay out there so that we can get a full work on this. So we'll ask her to go this way.
Nice.
So we're gonna raise the bar a little bit. We asked again. We want her to stay at that trot. You don't keep kicking if they're trotting, but you want her to stay there. What happened to you? You just got lazy? You partying all night?
Notice that left hand in.
Huh?
Notice that left hand in.
My left hand's in.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not guiding it. It's not doing anything. It's done all it can do. Right? But my gas pedal, obviously I gotta keep the gas pedal on this horse that's suddenly become lazy. You notice I guided her back out, gave her somewhere to go, and created a monster out there. She wants to get a little spook. She acted up a hell of a lot more last week, so we could fix a lot more. See the head's trying to bump out? Hey. Give her a way out. You notice I didn't go over there. I made her find her way out of there. And here, if they won't go, pop that saddle. You need to work through all those things. And you say, whoa. See, last time when I said whoa, she just kept on going. Because now she's scared. She's running into fear. You want to make sure you get rid of all that. When you say whoa, they stop on the ground before you get on them. Because if they run into fear, you're on their back, and you pull that bridle, well, now it's hurting them. That's just more fear. That's just more pain. What do you think they're going to do? Think they're going to stop? Hell no. They're going to truck it, baby. And if you get that head, you can get that head around and look at you. They're still going to truck it. This is painful. Now I got this. I got to run from it even farther. Hey, you got to run. So they run into the pain. Run from fear. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely it does.
So when you can get a horse on the ground, create that fear, and then at the height of it, say, whoa, and they lock down. That means you can do it on their back. You got it? Mm-hmm. So they, especially Mustangs, you work Mustangs and you take them in a round pen, you're working them, and you get a halter on them, and they just drag you around, and whoa. You notice how my lead rope's loose when she's going around? If any of y'all working with wild horses or young horses, and you got that lead rope and it's taut, it's straight as an arrow. It's like that, and they're pulling on it. You can teach them nothing. Nothing but to fight and pull on you and to run into that fear. If you want them to stop, watch. Give her a place to go. If I'm pulling her here, if that lead rope's tight, she won't let me get it tight now. She's unlearned the lesson. You can't do it. So you have to just take that lead rope and go, whoa. Do a little hop. The lead rope's got to get loose. So there's nothing holding them, and then you pop it. You follow me? And then you can get a lot of attention. So if your horse is slap out of control, step into him, get the lead rope loose, and say, whoa, and pop that thing. And then do it again, whoa, pop that thing. 2 or 3 pops, that horse is going to go, whoa, like that.
Yeah, the big thing about that is when you pop them, you release back into them.
There's got to be that back to that release. There's got to be back to that release. This little filly is in love with me now. She wants to be on top of me. So we get that. We stand here, create a monster. Now the reason I do this drill the way I do it, like I said, I stole this drill. It's not like I invented it. The only thing I added to it was this finger pointing right at the rib cage. The reason I did that is because I want this horse to maneuver around cattle, to maneuver around trees, or a cone right here where I'm standing. I want to give it something to maneuver around. So if that face jumps out like that, I can do the I can still keep the gas pedal. But I can get the face right where I want it. Traveling this way, I like that face to look at 1 o'clock. See, she's wanting to drift out because them horses are over there. I need her attention on me. I need this inside ear turned to me, this inside ear eye looking at me. So she's looking at 1 o'clock right here. She wants to. I'm not important. They're more important than I am. I need to be the most important thing out here right now.
That finger there is like your inside leg,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
an inside foot. So it's real light right now, but we're going to add a little more pressure to it. Whoa. And then whoa, we're just going to turn her. See how abrupt that face is? We don't care. Whoa. We'll just keep pulling her around. Whoa. Until that face gets cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. See how I automatically go back to loose? That's the hard thing for people. They want to, see I slide my hand up, just like you would on that rain management I was telling you, my hand goes back down. See how she tries to drag me out that way because them horses? Horses are more powerful than her wanting to listen to you. That's why I said do not get in a fight when you're out there trailing along with your horses. Do not try to make the horse stand still. Do not try to pick a fight when the other horses are leaving. It's a battle you can't win because her desire to get to them other horses is greater than her desire to listen to you. And all you're gonna do, get going. That's it. See that monster I created?
Yep.
You see how it wrings that fear out? Hold up there, Aaron. Cool.
You and me.
Yeah.
I don't know how far back you're gonna go, kid.
Whoa. Yes, sir.
So you said their desire is to reach the herd over them listening to you.
Absolutely.
But what are you supposed to do if they are supposed to listen to you?
Yes, sir.
So what do you do in that instant?
Redirect them.
Redirect them.
Yeah. So if your horses are trying to get up to the other horses,
Mm-hmm.
notice I keep her feet moving.
Mm-hmm.
They're wanting to move out. You're wanting to slow down and walk, or you're wanting to stop. I see it all the time. Slow down can be occurred by pulling and releasing. Typically, you're just an annoyance to them. So instead of just becoming a huge annoyance, I typically would take that face and just do that rein, pick that rein up, put them over here. All the time we're still going forward. I'm just making them work a little bit harder at going forward. You follow me?
Give
We're
them
still
something
like
else
a-
to think about besides the
if
herd.
you want to move those daggum feet, we're going to move those feet. You follow me? When I'm working cattle at home and my cow stops and my horse stops and my horse is like, and trying to, some of my horses will just do this and the cow's standing right there and they're just doing all this trash. Looks cool. It's worthless. You know, they're just bouncing around back and forth. And I can't get them to stand still. They know that cow's going to move and they're just trying to anticipate it. So they're turning, but it didn't turn. So I turn back and it didn't turn. They turn back and it just wears you out. I want them to think. I want them to wait on that cow. So what I'll do is I'll just walk them out a little past that cow, turn them, walk them out a little past that cow, turn them, and it's a pretty forceful turn. Not abusive, but forceful. Turn them, and I may do that 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And then when I come back, I turn them, I get back to that cow again, and I go boom, put my hand down. Huge release. There was no release really in any of those turns. It was just dictating the movement of their feet. You want to move your feet? We're going to move them. Then I boom, right here, I stop. Their hips slightly into the cow, their nose is slightly into the cow, the rib cage is off the cow, and now they're sitting here going, I got it. You know, and they're dead. They're like, that front leg might still be shaking, but that's it. They're standing here. And then I'll get my dog. I said, go ahead. So go over there and bite that cow in the nose, and then whoosh, we leave. But all that other stuff is trash. It is unnecessary. Looks cool, but it's unnecessary. Now you trap a cow in the middle of the pen, and the cow's turning, and the horse is doing that. Now that's pretty sexy. You know, but just for a cow to stand there and look at you, you know, and twitch his ear, and you're jumping back and forth, is very unnecessary. It looks good, but it doesn't gain you any points.
You're burning energy.
Yeah, you're just doing way more than they should do.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing that happens, and it happens to every single one of us as we learn, you know, is right at the beginning, you're asking the horse to do something, then they're moving faster, you get off balance, you get scared, And so the first move is stop. And then all this, tug of war starts. And you got to come through your own fear and push them into one of the tools, right? Instead of stop, think, oh, then I'll try this. You have to take the big deep breath. You have to calm yourself, get your posture, and then move right into that.
Most of the time it just takes breathing.
Yeah, without the
Get
big,
your legs out of them,
Most
without
times
the
hanging
big
on.
yank or without the big squeeze or whatever it
The
is.
big squeeze comes. A lot of people that are nervous, they cling, and then they bolt. The horses, they can't get away from that. It's unnerving. I always have leg pressure on my colts. When I start my colts, I ride them the same way the first ride that I want to ride 500. Right? That makes sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So I use the exact same pressure in the face. A colt I may have to bump out to teach to give me that nose, but I always pull here. I use the same legs. I drop that down in my saddle. I give the same releases. I do all the same stuff because I do not want to teach my colt, we're going to ride like this, and we're going to ride like this, and then we're going to stop. Then I'm going to love on you, and then we're going to turn around in these great big drooping turns. No. Because in 30 days, we're going to raise the bar. Now I got to retrain the colt again. This was okay if you have a child at home and you wait till he's 16 years old to make him wash the dishes and clean his own room. You are going to have a fight on your hands. You have just created a big monster. No different with a horse. Expect great things out of him. Teach him something, be kind to him. Teach them something, and then expect them to learn it. If they don't learn it, then that's where the little discipline comes in. If they want to dive out, then you pull them back. Pop, pop, pop a little bit with the leg, pop a little with the rein. Not abusive, but discipline. And then let them go again. Then try it again. And then they go, oh, I remember. You got it? Because if they know it, they know it. If they don't expect them to. Teach them. Yes, sir.
Oh, I used to say, every time I get on the horse, I get on that horse and I just picture in mind, this horse is already finished. And I ride him just like you say.
If you like I told one of y'all, I ride that horse like a senior citizen. Yeah. You're not gonna go boss a senior citizen around. You're just happy to be involved with what they've got you involved with. So you're just gonna guide and direct. Sometimes senior citizens need a little bit. Don't climb those stairs. Don't do that. You're gonna fall down and kill your old self or whatever. So just guide a little. So like I said, I ride these horses the exact same way. And typically I do it on a long lead like this, and I pick a young guinea pig to put on their back, and this horse is going to listen to me. And the person's up there for the ride. Many of you here this week are just up there for the ride. Many of you are leading the ride. That's the rightful place. The ones that are up here for the ride are typically bouncing around pretty hard on the horse's back, going where the horse wants to go, guiding, overdoing things. That is you're just tickled to death to be going somewhere on a horse. You're not actively engaging the horse. You're actively just being drug along by the horse. There's a difference. You want to ride with purpose. Expect great things, and great things you shall get. But in order for you to pick them up and move them, if you want them to listen to you, you have to give them that release. You're raising a child, you have to give them those little acts of affirmation. Take the 4-year-old, take the dishes to the sink. Good job, man. Good job. Then they're gonna be more out to take those dishes to the sink. Wash those dishes now. You're 5 years old. You need to clean them up. There it is. Good job. But you let the flu over here. So we're a little discipline, but still affirmation. Got it? And that's how you just build and build and build on them blocks. Build. And like I trained a young kid, he was a little autistic, and he got kicked out of school because he was threatening teachers. He was choking himself out, until he passed out. He would just grab his throat and then pass out. I don't know how he could do that. I don't know how he could hold on long enough to pass out. Maybe he was just faking to pass out. But they couldn't do it. They were kicking him out of school. 13, 14 years old, I think. So I said, look, I told them multiple times, bring them to me. Let me work with them. And they finally did. Brung them to me. I made them sign on for 3 months. The only rule that you can't, the two things I hate fear. Fear is a natural thing. I just hate when it controls a person, where they can no longer move forward. And the other thing is you can't quit. You can cuss me out, you can cry, you can do all these things, you just can't quit. That's the last thing I want out of my horse. I do not want my horse to quit. I want them to go through those emotions. I want them to be angry with me. I allow all those things. They have a right to do that. Your children have a right to be angry with you. But it's your duty to still teach them. So I took this kid and I told him first day, I said, this is how we're gonna do the training. I'm gonna start off with 99% positivity. And each day I'm gonna remove positivity and put more correction in there, more negativity. And I said, by the end of the month, you'll be down to 20% positivity and 80% negativity. By the end of 3 months, you will kill yourself for me without me even asking you to do anything. And he just looked at me like I was insane. 2 months into it, I said, listen, this is what you gotta do. You gotta do this, this, and this. And this. You take 30 seconds off in between this. You do this. Got it. Boom. Off. He would smoke himself. And he didn't need me. When he first started doing things, I had him throwing a stupid medicine ball up on the wall and trying to catch it. He couldn't catch it. And I'm working out. I just give him a simple task and I leave him and I go work out. But I always watched him. And when he caught that ball one time, I said, yes, while I'm benching. Yes. And he's smiling. Never had that affirmation. So then he threw it again. Then he'd catch it and he'd look at me. I go, yes. And then he would do something else. Then we'd throw punches. I said, you're punching like a 90-year-old woman. And then he'd clean his punches. I go, that's it. Oh, that hurt. And he just, he'd get this feeling inside him. That's what you want to do to your horses. You got it right. That's what you want to do to your kids. Bring them up to they're invincible. Humble, but invincible. They're conquerors.
I love that.
Huh?
I love that.
Yeah. So I train horses, kids the same way. A guy come to me and he says, wow, horse training made you a better father. And I said, I think father made me a better horseman. And I am very slow at horses. I am very methodical. So you'll see me when I ride here in a minute. I am very much, everything I do is methodical and slow. I do some fast stuff, but I make sure that it's done correctly and methodical. So I add to this drill, my dead pony here. I get her going around, and then eventually, I want to work her on her hocks a little bit more, right? So she, come on, let's go. Hey! So I bring her over here. Hey! Bring her. She's done quit all the forward motion. Last time she was zinging around me like a wild child. She says, I got this. Hey! You gotta raise the bar a little bit. So I'm gonna bring her over here. A little bit more, let her. Why do you want to stop? Over here, and we're gonna whoa her, whoa. And then we're gonna turn her. She's all out of whack here. Then I'm gonna step into her. Bring her to 3 o'clock. Whoa. And I'm gonna step into her. Bring her to 9 o'clock. Whoa. Now this is a little more advanced. Takes them a little while. Whoa.
It gets ugly before it gets nice, pretty.
Pretty much.
You have to expect that. You see, he's
And then we'll do it back to you.
Pressure. His
Whoa over, 9 o'clock.
pressure is
Let her find her way out.
different than what I use. I use looking this. This is not a soft. To me, is not a soft ask. I like my ask to be learn to be softer. So you don't have to start with a level 3, 2, and 3 ask.
Motor stop.
So that's a different, that's same goal.
Oh, hurt.
Yes, yeah.
What we're doing here, see, I got in her space, so she has to suck off of me to get around me, right? Now this is a little advanced for her. You see how she has to get off of me? The goal is to stop her out there and have her draw and turn. have her rock back on that butt. Did it a couple times, but it was good that she got scared so much.
Yeah.
She'll learn more from being scared than she will from being obedient, because she was scared, then she worked through it. Notice I held my ground. I was an oak tree. I held my ground and made her come around me. You got any questions on that? She obviously didn't do that drill very well. She needs more, huh?
I'm just curious to know what you were looking for, because
Okay, so yeah, because obviously she wasn't doing it well.
yeah.
So you notice how when I do the drill in the circle, she would stop, she would throw her butt out a little bit, and then she would pivot over. So that's what I'm looking for on that 9 o'clock. Looking for that 9 o'clock, she stops right here, and I want her to turn like this, and then I step in to make her do this. You follow me?
Suck in more.
Like
I
that.
make her suck in more. So I want her to turn. So I want her to turn her butt. So I back. She's basically having to rock back,
Yeah. Set her
So I
on her
step
haunches,
in.
yeah.
and I want her off of me. Most horses are going to do. Most horses, when you get horses, especially you dull horses, are going to turn, and they're gonna crowd you.
Come into
Yeah.
you.
They're gonna come
walk
into you.
forward.
Yeah.
Some of that is your timing. Some of that is you've got this rope way up here, and you're pulling like this or something, and you pull the horse to you. Pull that rope way out there. Look how close I am. And then when I go, when she goes, look at my hands. They
You
slide
have
back
to
to
let the
center.
rope go
Is
through.
it the same way last night on the reins? You reach down, you grab a rein, you remember? And you
Bring it.
release it and slide back to center. Aaron asked me a question last night. I was taught to not abuse a horse or to pull too hard on a horse or to annoy a horse. Well, and I asked, so, well, let me ask you this. What would you rather have? So you ask your horse with 2 pounds of pressure. That's what I like to turn a horse with. And the horse, I'm not listening to you. Just gives you the middle finger. Okay, I'm going to ask with 5 pounds of pressure. He's like, I told you, you son of a gun, I ain't listening to you. So you go to 10. You go to 30. And the horse says, okay. So they're semi-obedient, but they're disobedient in their obedience. You got kids that do that. I'll go clean my room. You know? They're being obedient, but it's disobedient. You want them to do it with a good attitude. Sometimes that's pretty hard to, yeah.
So that what you're describing is what I call is your intention. The people that go, okay, I'll try a little harder, but I don't want to abuse you. You still don't have any intention.
No.
So your energy is not going to them because your intention is not there.
Yeah. So it's like I said, you know, I'm gonna punish the kid. I said, get in the car. I'm gonna count to 10. You get to 9, 9 and a half. The kid's like, oh God, here we go again. Finally gets in the car. I'm gonna count to 1. 1. It's on, baby. I ain't gonna count it all. They get nothing. They listen or they don't listen. Horses are the same way. When I ask my horse to whoa and they don't whoa, that's the only opportunity they had to stop. Right there. So I reach down, grab them, pull them around forcefully, send them somewhere else. Whoa again. They all forward motion better stop. Some horses are built to stop, some horses aren't. Some horses I'll tolerate, boom, 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 like that. But typically I want them to bury up and stop. I want to promote that stop. And if I'm having a struggle on a horse that won't stop, and they finally get a stop, I make a big deal out of it. I love all over them. I get off of them a lot of times. Just get off, loosen the saddle right there in the middle of the arena, and go tie them up. Because I want that to seal into their brain, that stop, and that love and affection and all that stuff. Just get off of them. I don't try to get another one. Eventually I will. Eventually I want 100 stops. At a trot. I don't stop my horses at lows very much. Pretty hard on them. Especially like my kind of stopping, they bury up and drag their feet underneath them. And that you get 100 of those a week. By the time you get to the show pen, you may not have one.
It's hard on their legs.
A horse that you teach, a horse that's real cowy and works on cattle, they're going to stop. They're going to stop. You just got to teach them proper to get down and get the rib cage out of the way and turn. They're going to stop. They are, last thing they're going to do is run past that cow, unless you're still riding them, unless your legs are still on them. So that's it. So I got a philosophy of 2 pounds. They don't listen to 2 pounds, I go to 100 pounds. And 100 pounds is just basically what you can do. My 100 pounds is gonna be different than y'all's 100 pounds, but and I lock that on my hip, so they can't pull it. Because if you go with your little fingers, and if I was to grab her and pull her around like this and keep my fingers open, she just pulled the rein out of my hands. So I pulled with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pounds, and then she pulled 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pounds back. You follow me? So all I'm doing is training her to fight, to fight, to fight, to fight, to fight, to fight, to fight. This pulling is teaching her to listen. And then when she listens, and then you do that, then it teaches her that if I listen here, I can tolerate this son buck pulling my head off, but he's going to let me go over here. So when you pull, and they know they're going to let go over here, they'll eventually get there very fast, because that's what they want.
They want the soft.
They want the nothing.
And nothing.
They want the nothing.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes, sir.